Right there, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson, 5 things we learned watching Manchester United nick a draw with Bournemouth. And on one hand, should be like, yeah, pretty happy that we managed to rob a point at the end of a game. But on the other hand, I'm still just annoyed at the circumstances that we find ourselves in throughout the entirety of the game. So you'll forgive me if I'm not espousing the wonders of nicking a point at the Vitality. That being said, we did learn some stuff, and we did lose some stuff yesterday. So let's get into the 5 things that we learned. First and foremost, number 1, self-inflicted. It feels like every single time that we concede, it was avoidable, and it was entirely self-inflicted. Errors directly leading to goals have become worryingly frequent. We almost expect them at this point. Opposition teams seemingly don't have to produce quality football. They just wait for us to gift them an opportunity. And this has been the case, not just under Amorim, this has been the entire season that United have just been making catastrophic errors that have led to goals. Our attempts to build up from the back repeatedly invite pressure, whether it's the structure, whether it's the personnel, whether it's the shape. Whatever we're doing, we invite pressure, teams smell blood, and they capitalise, and it's far too easy. The players are too casual, they're too sloppy in possession, they lack the care, they lack the precision that is demanded to play Premier League football. There's a lack of urgency, there's a lack of movement, there's a lack of detail, there's a lack of tenacity in our duels. We get bullied physically and mentally, up and down the pitch, up and down the fucking country. And teams like Bournemouth and Wolves, and Nottingham Forest, teams that should be like bang mid-table teams, just getting results against us without even having to play particularly well. They just, like, without distilling it down into the most Sam Allardyce of analysis, they just wanted it more. And that's a sin, isn't it? Number 2, same old, same old. One of the most frustratingly toothless attacks in European football, and certainly in the Premier League. We consistently underperform our XG. Now, people go, oh, XG, woke nonsense, blah, blah, blah. Like, look, at the end of the day, XG is a measurement of the quality of the chances that you created. That is it, right? That is it. Like, to just give you an example, right? The number of shots in a game can be largely irrelevant. My footy team Paddock played twice this week. We drew 0-0 at home on Tuesday, and we won 9-2 at home on Saturday. On Tuesday, we had 18 shots. Did we have a significant number more shots on Saturday? No, we had 19 shots. So we had 1 shot more and scored 9 goals more. Like, XG is the measure of those goals. Now, I haven't seen our XG for Saturday, but it was only like 1.3 on Tuesday. Which means that, yeah, we had a decent volume of shots, but the average of all of those shots was like rangy, hopeful efforts. Using XG as a measurement tells you if you're having high quality chances. Now, Hojlund's goal was quite close in. You would expect him to hit the target and probably score from there. But United are consistently underperforming. I think it was 2.6 our XG yesterday, or 2.4 or 2.6, one of the two anyway. That's enough to score 2 goals, right? That's enough volume of chances to come away with a couple of goals. And obviously it's not an exact science. It's literally a measurement, but it's taken from like 100,000 shots that have been taken over the last 10 years. That's where this measurement has come from. So it's literally how many shots from that exact position in those similar circumstances, because the circumstances can never be exactly replicated, are expected to go in. You shoot from the halfway line, it's 0.01, right? You shoot from inside the 6-yard box, it's not going to be 1, because chances get missed from there. But you would expect it to be 0.7, 0.8, maybe even 0.9, right? If you have 10 shots from inside the 6-yard box, would you come away expecting to have scored one of those shots? Yes, that's all expected goals is. And this Manchester United team consistently underperform our XG. So what does that mean? When we're analysing football and we're talking about football, did we deserve to lose that? Should these forwards be doing better? Are they doing enough? That's how you analyse this stuff. You use things like expected goals and you say, no, we're creating chances, they're not finishing them. There you go. That's it. End of discussion. End of analysis. Perfectly adequate analysis. There you go. That's it. We get physically dominated by opposition defenders who make it far too simple for teams to nullify our threats. We are predictable, we are static, and we're safe in the final third. Now, the safe in the final third I actually can put on the manager. Opponents have no trouble containing our forwards. There's a complete lack of flair in the final third. But the question remains, when will the coaching staff address this? Can they just fix this in a pre-season? Because to me, this feels like something that has to be in constant evolution and constant striving towards improving. And when I look at the players in our forward line, they have not improved or changed the way they play all season through two managers. So do you think two managers are asking them and happy with them with what they're doing, or is there probably something else? I think it's probably something else, right? Listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that these shots have turned me into some mental machine overnight, because that's nonsense. You know it's nonsense, I know it's nonsense, but I have tried them and I like them. Now, here's the thing. Everyone knows that top athletes need laser-sharp focus, right? And I'm obviously not a footballer, but staying sharp does matter to me as well. And between hitting the gym and grinding through projects all day, I got to have a clear head. And honestly, some days I walk into the office and I feel like I've left my brain in the car. It happens to the best of us, right? A couple of weeks back, after some workouts, I started trying some of these Magic Mind focus shots, and I've been chucking one back every single morning for a couple of weeks, and I can genuinely say that I do feel more switched on when I have them. A little bit less distracted, a little bit more focus, and there isn't any sort of nasty crash as well. What I do like about them is that they're full of natural stuff. There's matcha, there's lion manes, there's no weird jitters. It's all nice and clean and healthy, and it fits right in with what I'm trying to do. Good morning routine, a little bit of a shot, get yourself focused, and if you fancy giving it a shot, no pun intended, then Magic Mind's hooking you up with 50% off for your first subscription welcome pack. You'll also get their Founders Productivity ebook, which is going to get thrown in, which is actually pretty solid as well. Just hit up magicmind.com and use my code StephenH50 to grab yours. Number 3, Thursday. Now, immense pressure is starting to build on that European tie on Thursday. It is quite literally a make or break moment for this season. If we crash out of Europe at this stage, well, the rest of the season is going to be hilariously bad. If you think the players have down tools now, wait until we get knocked out by Bilbao, if we get knocked out by Bilbao. And then you don't know what that's going to have an effect on for recruitment. You don't know what effect that's going to have on for retention. You don't know what effect that's going to have on the player's confidence in the manager for him to deliver what he needs to deliver in pre-season. It's an absolutely monumental test of character coming up. Will they rise the way they have done in Europe consistently all season, or are they going to fall short again? And it really could determine Amorim's future. Like, I think European football was considered a minimum expectation for him from the start of the season. And when you start to put all of the pieces of the jigsaw together in assessing him, and you look at how Wolves have done since their appointment of their new manager, and how other clubs have done since their appointment of a new manager, it don't look good for him. Now, maybe he's got an agreement with Ineos where he says, do you know what? I'll come, but it's going to be an absolute fucking bin fire for the first 6 months, and we'll try and get it sorted from August 2025. Now, maybe they've got, right, okay, when assessing your performance, we're not going to take into account anything, but you need to hit August strong. Maybe that's the agreement that they come to, because he didn't want to come. They forced him to come. They give him a now or never ultimatum. And he went with the now. So maybe when they're assessing him, they have to discount what's gone on. But you know who won't discount it? The fans won't discount it. The players won't discount it. The fucking media will not discount what has happened this season. And the second it starts to go tits up next year, you're going to start to see Amorim's got a whatever sort of win rate, a not good enough win rate. Because even if he wins the first 10 games of next season, his win rate's still going to be dog shit because of what's happened this season. 4, Hojlund. Finally got a goal. 19 league games without a goal. It was a good goal. Shown a little bit of that natural finishing instinct that we know he's got. Do I think he'll regain confidence on this and go on a run? Honestly, no, I don't. But he is the only striker that we've got, and we could really do with him doing that. We really, 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 really need him to have gotten something out of that, to go to Bilbao on Thursday and be like, do you know what? Yes, I can find the back of the net. His ability to score goals at this stage of the season could literally be the difference between Manchester United having our factually worst season on record, which, let's be honest, it's very, 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 very likely to be, or having an absolute dumpster fire of a league season and somehow ending up with a trophy in Champions League qualification. It's time for him to step up and just put the ball in the back of the net. That's all we need him to do. 5, Dorgu. I think he's very uncomfortable when he's asked to play deep. I don't think it suits him playing in the build-up phase, and he seems to struggle a little bit with the ball security. I think he's very much a final third player, or maybe a between the boxes kind of player. Currently being heavily relied upon with the athleticism that he's got, rather than the technical ability that he's got to escape the tight pressure. And I don't think that's sustainable at Premier League level. I think he'll benefit from having the more obvious, straightforward route of being the attacking left wing back, and maybe someone that would link up with him more effectively on that left hand side, give him a bit more space, maybe fewer defensive responsibilities as well, depending on who's tucked in there behind him, and maybe just the team just being better and more dominant on the ball would help as well. And I know we had a lot of the ball yesterday, but it was late in the game. Defensively, I think he's quite solid still. He's very good at his duels, seems to relish the duels, very good at interceptions. A couple of concentration issues, especially when we're in possession, have cost us a couple of times. But he is young, he is raw. He's still probably unpacking boxes from his move in. So he's going to get the summer. He's going to get settled into the city properly, and then we'll find out if a couple of those little technical flaws that he's got can be coached out, or if they're going to end up being like a fundamental part of his game that we have to account for. But it's early doors with him, and like I said, overall, I'm pretty impressed with him. I think he's not an issue, but you have to talk about the good as well as the bad, don't you? So that's it for 5 things. We're back in a little bit with player ratings, where I'll delve deep into the stats of every single person's game. So come and join me for that later, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.